Yeah, you don't have to worry about messing anything up. The benefit you have is that undo button. If you save frequently, like, every time that you make a big change or make a little, change to what you're doing, hit that save button, because then if you don't like what you did, you can hit that undo button and revert back.
Okay, so for when after the Zoom, say if I hit the person and then I hit the call, will that mean that we'll be able to hear each other?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
Say if I click on the collaborators and then I hit the call, that means you'll be able to hear me?
Yeah. But it'll be difficult because we're on Zoom at the same time.
That's what I was saying, like after the Zoom, I can try it.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
So if I hit the call, it says music production, instruction, and then I have myself. And if I click you, that means you'll be able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
On soundtrack. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play it though. Because we're gonna go ahead and get started. It's about 14 minutes after. First off, good morning. I don't know if I said that when everybody got on. Yeah, I hope you all had a great weekend. We got in class today, and Nathan came in right away ready with questions, and it's got a whole song that I'm actually about to share of his. So kudos to Nathan for, he was 5 minutes early to class and everything, and had, stuff to share and questions. So, but I'm gonna share my screen. I want y'all to hear this song that Nathan put together, or excuse me, I should introduce him as Nate Dogg. This is Nate Dogg's production on Soundtrap. But make sure and what's the name of the song?
I'm Nate Dogg.
I'm Nate Dogg rap. It says that he saved it.
All right, here we go. Can you all hear it?
Yes.
Yo, it's Nate Dogg. I rap every day. When I go to my friends, they go, hey, 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 hey. On the Ocean Bay. Anyway, I'm cool. Enjoy school. There's only one rule. I'm not a fool, but use God's tools. In this name, he has to the fame. I got an aim in your heart, and there's how it starts. I'm Nate Dogg. 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 I'm back with my act. At this ball, I got it from the mall. I'm about to cross the halls. Jesus is with me always. The lights might be dim, but with Jesus, you will see the light and shine bright. Shine bright. I'm Nate Dogg. I'm Nate Dogg. I'm Nate Dogg. He's 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 Nate Dogg. Hey yo, it's your girl Naomi. I'm gonna be rapping on this beat with my brother. Yo. I am Nate Dogg, that's my name. His name, I'm so lit. I don't care about what everybody says about me. I don't quit. He's not quit. I don't quit. He's not quit. I don't quit. I don't quit. I don't quit. I don't quit. Yeah. I'm Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So that was a great job. Great job there. Say it again.
Might make another one.
Yeah, you should. You should keep working with this. Keep making it. Maybe play around with some of the effects on the voices and stuff. Because you have multiple voices in there. Did you all record on the same mic at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah, if you record them separately, like you do her voice on one track and your voice on another track, you can actually
Oh yeah, we did that.
do more effects. You said what?
Cause I actually sorry so my sister recorded it. I came in and did it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant to say.
Gotcha.
And I was thinking I can add like a third voice. I was thinking I can add another voice to it.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you want to share any more of your thought process as you made this?
So when I first started, I already had before I actually made this. I was thinking I can do like I was gonna make another song, but I was like, I can use that I'm Nate Dog rap because I already had that written down for about a month now.
Okay.
Then I could have put that down, and then I memorized my lyrics by then, and then I kind of already had this beat kind of down, so I decided I can like and then that I can like I just like put it all together. My sister helped me. She like made like because you know how like when you first started like the reverb, it has like the echo, the kind of echo. So my sister like turned that off. And then it made it more smoother. And then I kind of messed up a little bit, but then cause the different mics, like you see like the mic 2, mic 3, those are like the ones that I kind of like messed up. And then usually then after that I kind of like got it, and then I was thinking because my dad talked to my sister about that you can at least try to like add some other and not just like that plain beat and then not adding anything else. So that's why I add the piano and then the other thing I really didn't decide. I didn't really want to like add anything really else. And I just wanted to use like the and then like you guys can like help me like make this like more better. And then like at the beginning, we were doing this on a different computer at first, and then my sister she sent this on this computer, and then I just started to work on a couple of stuff. It was kind of hard, but I still made it.
Okay.
Go to my channel. I'm gonna probably make another one after this.
Yeah, try using BandLab too.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying that is because BandLab you're gonna have the full version forever. Basically, it's free. The soundtrack, a lot of the sounds that you used, they'll stay there in that song, but you won't be able to have those available to you in another 20 days or so. Okay.
So how much do you? How am I gonna bring this song to BandLab?
Oh, this song will stay where it is. It won't hurt it, but you can bring it to BandLab if you want.
How?
If you want to stay, we got to get into the lesson. If you want to stay after the class, Jordan will show you how to do that.
Jordan.
Okay.
Yes, Amar.
Can you replay that so Aiden and Nico can hear it?
We'll play it at the end of the class. I'm gonna teach the lesson real quick because we've got the recording on live, and we'll go back to it at the end. Is that okay? All right, cool. So again, thank you, Nathan, for coming with something to share, because that's actually why we're here. Whenever you all come with projects to share, that's what makes this class that much better. Actually, I'm going to share my screen again. So today,
Excuse me?
yes.
Do you know the Zoom ID for Nico?
It's in Google Classroom. I mean Gmail.
Yeah, he needs his school Gmail and we don't know the password.
He needs his password to his Gmail.
No password to get into Zoom, I think.
Yeah, and the ID.
I'm going to put it in the chat so that you can help him. Can you do that for me, Aiden?
All right.
All right.
Okay, you don't even have to. What did you say?
All right. So now that we got that, so today we're getting in a little bit into what's considered voice acting, where the acting in the show that is going on is completely an audio or an oral experience for your listener, for your audience. So if any of you have ever listened to like audiobooks, like a recorded version of a story, or I mean, pretty sure all of you have seen cartoons. That's the same thing. If you've seen any cartoons, voice acting is where you have the actor is using their voice to act primarily. So right here, I actually have a video of a woman who's actually pretty recognizable in a lot of cartoon characters. So I'm gonna show you her just to give you an idea of what voice acting is.
Tara, in this one, all right, Tara, in this one, Rocky's at a mountaintop. He gets swatted by the monster tail. He falls, tumbles and rolls, and falls off another ledge, falls another bunch of feet, and then crashes. All right, watch my hands.
I'll watch you.
Here comes the... Perfect.
My name is Tara Strong, and I'm mostly known for my animation career. I'm the voice of Timmy Turner from The Fairly Odd Parents.
I wish Cosmo and Wanda were here. I was Baby Deal. Hey, that's my camera.
Powerpuff Girls.
I'm just as tough as Blossom and Buttercup. I'm hardcore.
Raven from Teen Titans, Azarath, Metreon, Zinthos. Originally, I was Batgirl alongside Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. I've had a really fun career.
Man, that was one tough montage.
So I knew Timmy had to be
Happy, mischievous, silly, kind of nerdy. Oh, and very, very adventurous. Sorry, I was just trying to help.
Bubbles had this weird way of pronouncing things like,
oh, I'm having picky.
like I don't know why it goes L-E like that, but the time I booked Rugrats, I just got off a plane with a screaming baby, and I'm like, that's the cry that I'm doing. And most of Dill's lines were in the stage directions, so I'd be like, okay. And that was like my lines. I remember at the session, we had to stop tape, and I'm thinking something's wrong, and they said, Tara, there's a new mom in the studio, and you're making her lactate.
And you guys say I'm not funny, but seriously, this will be extremely painful.
In the case of Raven, while I was doing the audition, it was similar to my own voice, and I thought, just this idea to have this weird guttural roll every time she says anything. And as soon as I started doing this, I saw all the people in the booth kind of look at each other and went, that's Raven.
Robin, stop!
Batgirl was me. Like, it's the only voice I do that's my own voice.
Would it be possible if you could do that last bit as Batgirl?
That was Batgirl.
Bullwinkle, it's like that classic story, The Lion and the Mouse, that we're ripping off.
When you're voice acting, you have to tap into the ability to make something believable without it being there. It's a completely different art form than on camera. You have to let the audience feel what it's like to fall off a cliff without there actually being a cliff there. Like, you gotta have to be willing to play around and not afraid to look silly. And then once you create a character, in my experience, they like live up in my brain and they're just ready to come down when it's their turn. So I don't confuse them. They all are their own entity. Basically, I'm a crazy person.
So I just need a long scream as you just keep going. What do you need at the store? Garbage bags? Ooh, yeah. Fried chicken sounds great tonight.
Okay, so good. So that was just an example of a further down the line of, oh, sorry, haven't caught off YouTube. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Sorry. So that's kind of the end result of where we can end up at the end of this. But getting into the assignment that we have today, we're doing something slightly different and a little bit closer to our level. And that is, I did a voiceover read aloud. So I went out and I picked a book, and I'm sure it's a book that many of us are probably familiar with. I did Green Eggs and Ham. And the reason why I started with the voice acting is because when you're reading a book, there was a key line that she mentioned in there. She said that you have to make it believable without anything being there. So in particular, when you're reading a book out loud, the inflections and the changes that you make to your voice, those are important in order to make those things believable. As well as you'll see when you listen to mine, I also added music and sound effects, which is why I did it in BandLab to make it more dramatic. So you'll listen to it, you'll hear how I went through, I read the book verbatim as it's written, and then I went back and added music and sound effects afterwards. So I'm going to, were there any questions about the video that I showed before I go in and show my my project? Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. All right, so like I said, I did Green Eggs and Ham. Let's, oh, when it decides to open. Am I not clicking it right? I think my computer is just moving slow. Oh, there's servers. Okay. And yeah, something about their servers moving slow. All right, so just to give you an overview of what I did, and all these videos, and I do have a what do you call it? A PowerPoint. I did make a PowerPoint to go along with this assignment that'll show you more in depth of what I did. I just didn't have it prepared before this class, but it'll be there before the end of today. But like I said, I went through, I read the title of the book. I said the author's name, and then I went straight into the story. I read all the way through to the end of the story. Just like with the podcast, I wasn't worried about if I messed up. Like, I just kept recording. If I messed up, I just stopped, waited a few seconds, and continued reading right where I messed up. And I made it all the way to the end of the song. Then I went back and I went moment by moment and I did the music. I added the music in, and I decided, I picked out certain sounds from the loop library that I liked, and I tried to fit to the music. At the same time that I did the music, I was cutting up the little parts of me saying the voices. So now that it's loaded, I'm going to go ahead and let you all hear this. Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Is it coming through staticky? Did it come through staticky?
Yeah, it came through staticky.
Yeah.
Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah, it's really. It's like a lot.
I feel like that warning sign was not a good that message about the servers. Green eggs and ham. Oh, okay. That started to sound better.
That was me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can play it, if yours.
I can play it, but I can't pull up the project.
Okay, well it's a I'll
So you don't have to see anything. I'm just playing the what you call it. You can keep it where you are.
Cool.
So everybody can hear what it sounds like.
Ham by Dr. Seuss. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam I am. That Sam I am. That Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Would you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? Not in a box, not with the fox, not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you? Could you? In a car? Eat them, eat them. Here they are. I would not, could not, in a car. You may like them, you will see. You may like them in a tree. I would not, could not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. A train, a train. A train. Could you, would you, on a train? Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car, Sam. Let me be. I would not, could not, in a box. I would not, could not with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Say, in the dark, here in the dark, would you, could you, in the dark? I would not, could not, in the dark. Would you, could you, in the rain? I would not, could not in the rain. Not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see. Not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. You do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. Could you, would you, with a goat? I would not, could not with a goat. Would you, could you, on a boat? I could not, would not on a boat. Will not with a goat. I will not eat with them in the train, not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. Will you let me be? I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with the fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with the mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. You do not like them, so you say. Try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. Sam, if you let me be, I will try them. You will see. And he tries them. Say, I like green eggs and ham. I do. I like them, Sam I am. I would eat them with a boat, and I would eat them with a goat, and I would eat them in the rain, and in the dark, and on a train, and in a car, and in a tree. They are so good, you see. So I will eat them in a box, and I will eat them with the fox, and I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with the mouse, and I will eat them here and there. Say I will eat them anywhere. I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam I am. The end. Thank you.
It sounded like it could be a play.
Oh, really? It could be a play?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was definitely the point, was to try and make it as believable as possible.
And realistic.
And
Yes.
also made it sound like it could be a play because all the music in the background, like when you like would shoot them in the ring.
Yeah.
Band lab can be a play.
Right. So, just to show you all everything that I did, because I gave you an overview of what I did. And again, like I said, I just grabbed the book. I'm pretty sure some of you have an old book that you have laying around, or maybe there's something else that you might want to read from instead of a children's book. But I just knew that it had an easy rhyme. I liked the story, and it was short. I mean, this was a short book, and it still took me 5 minutes to read. So, hey, Aiden, you have a question?
It would be a short play.
Yeah.
No, I was just seeing what it is.
Now, mind you guys don't have to be as long, but it would be nice. If you find something small or short, that you do the whole book. But if you don't do the whole book, I'm more interested in you guys doing like what he did, learning how to use 2 different tracks. See, so can you scroll it down a little?
Yeah.
I'll yeah. So as you see, he used a Sam I Am track, and underneath of that was the answer track. So he used 2 different tracks. So he actually read one part, and then he read the other, and then he split it up so that they all would come in at the right places.
Yeah, this is key. I mean, and like I said, when I first recorded it, though, I recorded it all on this first track right here. I read it all the way through. I didn't like stop and record and stop and record and stop and record. And then I cut up. If you all remember how to cut your regions, remember you can tap the playhead, put it where you want it to be, highlight the region, and then tap S, and it will split the region right there. And that's how I was able to move my audio. And I actually, while we were listening to it, I heard I messed up a little bit in sliding some of the audio up and down. But the other thing that I put this in Google Classroom so you can listen to it on your own as well, because you can't hear it through Zoom, but I had Sam I Am on the left, and then I had the answer on the right, the person that Sam I Am was talking to. And I did that with some of the sound effects too, so that it, again, I think it was Nathan's making it sound more realistic, and Amari said like it sounded like a play. You know, it puts the listener more in the actual moment. So at the very least, if you all can read a book from beginning to end, and this is also a plus because I know all of you are in school, this will highly improve your reading skills. This is a great way to practice your reading skills. This is a great way to practice your public speaking skills. If you know that you're, about to go to middle school, and in middle school you have to give presentations where you're talking in the front of the room, this is a great way to practice that. And even as I went through, I went back and recorded parts. Like if I didn't feel like I said it with enough energy, like when I was reading the book, I may have sounded a little boring when I read it off of the paper. But then when I went back and listened to it and just did certain lines, I just made them more animated. Like maybe the first time I read it like, Sam I Am. But the next time I said, Sam I Am, so that I made it sound more animated. And so you're going to want to go through and take the time to separate your audio if you want to do this, if you have multiple characters responding to each other. If not, you can actually keep it all on one track. Okay, I want to make sure everybody understands you can keep it all on one track. You don't have to do it like I did. And the other way is the music I did, all of this was right here in the loops. There is actually a genre called cinematic, and that's actually where I got a lot of this stuff. You can look in that folder for a cinematic. That gives you like the kind of sound effects that you would hear in a movie, because cinema is about film. So yeah, and so in the beginning I had, and it even tells you kind of what the vibe of what the music was that I was doing. I had these worrisome violas, and that I picked that because you got the Sam I Am character who is kind of being worrisome to the other one, to the other guy. I don't think they give him a name in the book, but he's being worrisome to him. And so this is another important part that you hear. If you heard, you could hear certain sounds come in and certain sounds go out. Well, if you look at all these lines, and I'm gonna back the screen up, you can see a lot of the animation that, animation, a lot of the automation that I did. So you're able to see where I've dropped the volume, like some of my train horn sounds, they were too long and too loud, and I only wanted them there for half a second. So I went in, and I'm gonna zoom in and let this place that you can hear. Right, here's an example. So this sound right here, this is, and I have multiple effects. So it's either my mouse, train, or my boat, one of those three. So even though the audio was longer, I quickly faded it out. And that's because I don't want to overpower my story. My story is the main thing that I'm listening to. So when you listen to it, it plays right into what's going on. On a train, not on a train, not in a tree, not in. Sorry, I know that was a little staticky, but you hear how the train horn doesn't overpower the story. I'm still able to make sure I hear the story. And another key thing is you're doing this because, as you can see, I ended up with a lot of tracks. You need to make sure you label everything that you do. So the loops that you use, it's going to automatically label them. That's great. But anything that you do, that you record with a microphone, like when I put it here and I called it Sam I Am and character 2, those things are important, because when you go back to edit it, it's going to be very difficult if you don't have things labeled. Because I copied and pasted a lot of those sounds, moving them over and over. If I didn't know what track it was on, my project would be very messy. So do I have any questions so far?
Yeah.
All right. So your first task is you can find a book, find something that you can easily read, something that you enjoy reading, especially something that you can get into and have fun while you're reading. That's why I chose Green Eggs and Ham, because I knew it would be fun for me. The second thing you need to do, you're going to record yourself reading that entire book. Okay. Then after you record the entire book, you're going to organize your recording, or edit your recording to make sure that you didn't take out the parts that you messed up, and space out what you said, and then add your music and sound effects. Okay. And your music and sound effects is the last thing that you want to do. Okay. So, right. Good. Amari, do you know what book you might be thinking about doing? Or maybe something else? You know what it might be? Amari, did you hear me? Maybe you're muted.
Maybe like a action funny book.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else would be good? If any of you own comic books, that would be a great one to animate. You could put a lot of action hero sounds in the background.
Yeah, me, Aiden, and Nico, we could all do it together and be different characters.
Yeah. And if you even if you want to take it a step further, if you can't find the sound effect that you're looking for in the loop library, make it yourself. Make that sound by yourself. Use either a microphone and record your voice. You know, maybe it's a explosion or a pow, like they're punching or something, or maybe it's something that you have in the house. Like I used the door closing. I didn't record a door closing, but if you have a microphone at home, you could take the time and record a door closing and add it to your audio.
And people were like, they were shooting people from.
So that is it. Like I said, I'm going to get the presentation, the PowerPoint that I have. I'm gonna get that up there in a few minutes. And
well, all of you have microphones on your laptops or phones, because Amari, Nico, and Aiden have phones, so they can use
I'm
their
on my phone right now.
right. So they can use their phones for microphones if they need.
yeah. Okay. So I've also included the audio of my recording here on Google Classroom. I'm going to get the slideshow, the PowerPoint up in a few minutes. There's that video that we watched earlier. And watch her because she actually points out very key things of how to make your voice sound believable. And they're not hard things to do. They're actually things that we all do in our everyday talking voices anyway. So Google Classroom will have everything you need, and I hope you all enjoy making fun and BandLab with it. So, any questions? Do I have any questions? Nico, Aiden, Amari, or Nathan?
No.
All right.
It's shorter. Make this shorter.
Can you play that song again?
Yeah, I will play that song again.
That's why I was doing that.
I'm gonna stop recording.